Am I live?
Where's a little 3, 2, ramen?
Hey, Facebook peeps. It's Wednesday night. It is 9:02, just after 9. And we're live here on Facebook with some really amazing guests who have way more of a setup, which you might not see. It kind of goes off camera, than I have here. We have.
I thought you were talking about.
Oh no! And we're all in black.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
like
Got the memo?
Yeah, we've got the memo. We have the Clever Barkeep in house tonight, which is super exciting. We have Matt and Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
Matt
you,
and
Patty.
Jeff. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, look, we got our names all right. It's
Nailed
good.
it.
It's good. Nailed that part. And we're gonna do some awesome stuff tonight. We're gonna make some great cocktails, like way better cocktails than we would ever make here at Kitchen Door on our own. And we're gonna make a really simple, classic homemade pasta dish with a garlic cream Alfredo-ish kind of style.
Way
to
better
complement.
than the pasta that I make at home.
Well, I don't know. I've never been to your home,
Yeah.
and I've never had your pasta, so I
It's come in a blue box, a little blue cardboard box.
Yeah, there's some in a box, and
and it's
I've never
similar
tried to
to
make
like
it.
the K and the D on the front. Yeah, because we get that a lot. Oh, they're the KD caterers, right? No.
Yeah, but all kinds of gourmet ketchups.
Oh, gourmet ketchup, just like all the infused things that you have for your cocktail bar.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Cool. So there's some cool things that are happening. We've done a couple of events with Clever Barkeep in the last, I'm going to say year and a bit.
Yeah. The first event we ever did was with Kitchen Door. Yeah.
Look at that!
So our
That's
friends
awesome.
at National Public Relations.
Yes,
We
our
did,
friends at National.
Jeff and I had done a few events together, but we did a birthday party for their business, and we ran into your wonderful staff, and
They're pretty
showed
awesome.
us
Shout
the
out to Tara.
utmost
Tara.
hospitality
Yes.
right off the bat. So we felt really welcome in the catering world. So thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. No, that's awesome. And we've done a couple of weddings because you guys do like the full gamut. Like you're 2 years young, as I call it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And growing and
We're now walking now.
You're walking?
We're walking. Yeah.
You're not running?
We've progressed to walking, and we're getting a lot of really interesting new clients and doing lots of fun stuff with their events.
that's
See,
awesome.
Jeff's a family man, and his daughter's learning how to walk. So this is a good analogy for where we're at right now in the business world. And you would be 10 years in. That's like grade 5.
Yeah, I guess so. Grade 5.
So
Yeah, my
you're-
son is 10 and he's in grade 5, so that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
So you're
Your
learning
business
how to-
is always the same age
Oh,
as your
there's so
children.
much more to go. I was looking for retirement at some point, but it's not on the radar here.
Junior
Right.
high's coming up.
Oh, I know. Junior high's in. Yeah, we don't need to go there. All right, so we're going to get to cocktails in a minute, but we're going to start with, I send an email out when I do my Chit Chat Shop requests with guests, and I say, what do you want to cook? Like, you have like a childhood favorite, you have something, and your comment was homemade pasta.
Mhm.
So is this like...
They wanted to pair well
and
with the wine, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, we had been having a conversation recently, and we always draw a lot of our inspiration from the kitchen, and the way that we do
As you would.
cocktails,
they
right?
cross over.
It's the same basic rule where ingredients in, ingredients out.
Yeah.
So you can't chintz on that. And we had a discussion. We were talking about Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat,
Yeah.
the great book and Netflix show.
And Netflix show.
We were saying how there's an episode where she learns how to make the
Yeah.
pasta, and we were like, oh, that'd be really neat to learn how to do that. So 2 days later, we get an email. You want to be on Chit Chat Shop?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We already know what we want to make to eat, and so homemade pasta all the way.
Homemade pasta. So there's a couple of things with homemade pasta. So we have the dough already made because Chef Andrew earlier today, as I was out running through meetings, made us some fresh pasta. So when you make pasta dough, and there's a lot of great recipes online, but it's really simple. It's flour, little water, eggs, egg yolk, salt and pepper. Like there's really
Scary
not,
though.
it's-
Like, how do you make it so delicate and?
well, no, it's not really delicate. You just
Well, I mean-
make it and you make it into a dough, and then but the key to it is you have to let it rest.
Okay.
You have to let it sit in the fridge. So if you make pasta dough and then you go to try to roll it out and you haven't let it rest, the gluten hasn't relaxed, and it's gonna break. And you've seen those shows like MasterChef or Top Chef where they're like putting pasta dough through and it's breaking apart and they're like stressing and
Yeah.
crying. It's because they haven't let the dough rest. So that's a key feature. So any good dough recipe will get you this kind of dough. And it's not, you can see it's pretty pliable, like you can feel it, like it's got a good stretch to it. See, right?
It's like in the hospitality industry. You always need a rest, or you're going to be cranky.
Yeah, that is
Right?
correct. I had a rest today. I went home just to be able to come back and do this.
Yeah.
So you can get manual crank, pasta makers, but we've hooked up our KitchenAid, and there's a little attachment here that you can purchase. And so it starts at 1 and it goes to 8. So 1 is the thickest, and 8 would be the thinnest. And we're just gonna do a rough, like rustic kind of pasta tonight. We've got salted boiling water on the back burner. We're gonna make a super quick pan sauce that has cream, a little garlic, a little pesto, and a little cream. Salt and pepper, everything that you need for that. So we're gonna turn this on. It's gonna get a little noisy.
And James Dwyer and Debbie Adams there.
Debbie, hey James.
Oh, James.
James is
Hi, James.
lovely. James sold my
Used
house.
to work with James.
Did you? He sold my
Yes.
house. He's awesome.
At the
All right.
Thirsty Duck, my first.
The Thirsty Duck. Oh my God, that brings back memories.
He actually
We don't need to go
hired
there.
me.
Really?
Did he really?
He hired me, yeah.
No
No way.
Bar back,
I'd be-
bar busser.
Who knows what I'd be doing without James?
All of us.
How come we haven't crossed paths more? We have a lot of history there. We can tell some stories afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got this on a 1, and we're just gonna literally feed it in from out one side, and then we're just gonna increase the step each time that you go.
You know?
Yes. Look at you. Oh my gosh, right in there. So let's take it to 2, and we're gonna feed it right back in.
But you can be pretty. You can go pretty. Oh, it goes the other way too.
Oh, it goes the other way, whatever way you want it to go.
This does not seem like rocket science.
It's not. It's really simple.
You don't have to be so gentle with it either, right?
No, as long as you let it rest, you're fine. Then we're going to take it up to a 3. It's just like, a little game here now.
Patty makes it look easy, right? What is that thing they say?
Super easy.
When people make things look easy, that means that they are experts in the field.
Experts. Like you guys are experts in cocktails?
That's a heavy word.
Patty's expert cocktail is a gin and tonic.
Oh, we learned that you really
Very
like
popular
gin.
cocktail.
I like gin.
Okay.
Yes, gin's one of my favorites.
Well, we're going to be whipping up a gin-based cocktail.
I'm excited
I think,
about that.
that'll pair very well with this dinner.
Well, that's very exciting. So as you can see, it's stretching out. It's getting obviously a lot longer and obviously thinner. We're going to take it right to the 8. So we are on a 6 now. We've got 2 more to go. Look at all 3 of us are in on this. This is just like a love fest of pasta. Chef Ivan.
And your husband's on.
Oh, hello,
Hey, babe.
honey. Hey, babe. No, he tells really bad jokes that aren't really funny. Like they're dry, and I don't respond. I just ignore. But Chef Ivan from the Orient had a fabulous dinner last night that Ginger and I went to with both of our husbands. And it was excellent. It was like a 12-course Chinese menu. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. He did this
Nice.
steamed halibut. It was just, and Szechuan peppercorns. My mouth is still on fire, Chef.
Well, we can cool it down with a cocktail.
Good. Perfect. All right, we've got 1 more to go, and then we're ready to cut. Like, all right, so get ready. Here we go.
Last one?
Teamwork is almost over here, boys.
You just tell by the number on the scale, or
See
just
your
Yeah.
hands through
feel?
there.
And you can look. You can almost see, like, you can see your the pink through it, so it's translucent, right?
Okay.
This is a great dough, Chef Andrew. Well done, Chef Andrew.
Thank you, Chef Andrew.
Yeah. So look, we're like what, maybe 10 times the
That's
length
the
of what
thing.
it started with.
Well rested gluten.
Well, rested gluten. We've got it. All right. So we're gonna turn that off.
I
All
feel
right.
like I'm holding on to a
All right.
boa
So we're good.
constrictor.
So just okay. Well, always something new here. We're just gonna fold it over. It's not that sticky, so we're just gonna. Perfect.
And if it was sticky, you just hit it with a little bit
You
of
just hit it
flour.
with a little bit of flour, but if you get too much flour, then you get really gluey,
Okay.
Yeah.
and which affects your water and your boil out and everything else. So that's really kind of it. We're good.
So have you ever been to Italy? Did you learn this in
No.
Italy, or just?
No,
it's on
I
the
learned
bucket list?
this at one of my very first cooking jobs out of culinary school was in Chicago. I went to culinary school in Rhode Island,
Okay.
and I'm from New Brunswick originally, but and my first job, it was actually painful. It was lovely. I love Chef Francois Kwakudango, if he's ever watching, but I was at Spago in Chicago.
Wow.
So they are now closed, but they were open for, I think, about 18 years. And my job when I came out of school was I made pot stickers and pasta every day. So I made about 900 pot stickers every single day of my life.
What is a pot sticker?
A pot sticker is like a little Chinese dumpling, so the filling. So I would have, the filling would be made by somebody, and then I would like hand fold these, and I'd line them up for dinner service. And then I would have to make, it was about 300 pounds of pasta every single day. And I would have to roll it out. They had this big fancy Italian pasta that made big sheets like this. And I'd have to roll it out, and then I'd have to make raviolis and tortellinis, and I'd have to stuff them all, and then I'd have to have them ready for the night chefs who would then make.
See, that's why you make it look easy.
Yeah, well,
Right.
it's been a long time.
10,000 hours probably put into this craft.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Yes.
So we do have one quick question.
Quick
I did
question.
ask, how did you actually make that? Like, how does that happen before putting it through? Like, how
So,
do you make that?
look, there's a lot of recipes. You can talk about double flour, which a lot of people will say, oh, you need that. We use regular all-purpose. We use eggs, egg yolks, and water, salt and pepper. That's
It's
really
just a feel thing.
It's just a feel
Maybe
thing.
a little more
But,
water, a little
like,
more
okay,
eggs.
so I'm gonna call it. Jamie Oliver has a great pasta dough recipe online. If you're looking for a fail-proof, that's the one to go to. And you can use it for anything. You can stuff with it. We're gonna cut this up, sort of like a thick fettuccine, and we're gonna make that. There's so many great recipes. I don't have one classic, but the Jamie Oliver one is one we've used many times. But that's it. You make it. You can make it in your KitchenAid, or you can hand make it and just whisk it out until it gets to sort of a dough consistency. Wrap it up and let it rest.
Patty, what about a gluten-free option?
Yeah, no, not for pasta.
You can't?
Forget
No?
that. Yeah, no.
Right,
Go buy
okay.
the box at the bulk barn, or yeah, no.
It just
no,
doesn't
no.
have this same lovely feel, right?
No, it doesn't.
This is just.
This is gluten development.
Yeah, this is great.
Yes. So we're just gonna hand cut this up.
Just feel that.
I know. It's exciting, isn't
Looks
it?
light.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Cool.
So, what did you get into gin and tonics first?
Well, my mother
At
was.
least,
My
like,
mother
21,
is.
right? Rhode
Oh,
Island. You had to be 21.
No, but I came from New Brunswick, so I knew 19, right? I knew. My mother was a gin and tonic drinker, or is a gin and tonic drinker. Still in my family, but yeah. I
take
didn't
this
really
apart.
discover. Yeah, we're just gonna just loosely, and you might need a little flour in there, which will
help
just
you
go.
out, too.
You help me out.
Cheaters.
Yeah, so she was always a gin and tonic fan, and even now when we get together, my sisters and I, we will usually have one. But then I discovered like artisanal tonic and like really amazing gin, and I've had some little handcrafted gins from France, and it's a whole new world now. Cocktails of the
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there making distillates, and gin has been one of those.
distillates.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're getting all fancy on me. How am I gonna
Spirits-
keep up with that?
It's in the spirit world. Gin has been having kind of a renaissance with the craft gin.
Okay.
So many people are making different types of flavored gins and using different kinds of, like when you make a gin, it's basically like making tea. Like you're making vodka and then you're soaking it with some different botanicals, but now people are getting really away from the juniper.
I know, I was gonna say, it used
more
to be
into the lavender and
Yeah,
those
juniper
soft-
heavy, but not so much now.
Yeah, and you can get artisanal tonics, like you're saying, like the Fever Tree is a really great one, and
Yeah.
people are serving them in wine glasses, and
They're
really
doing all
great
sorts of
aromatics.
crazy things.
But have you changed? Do you have like a tried true?
Well, my lovely staff, my birthday was in October, and they gave me the Spring Compass, the Spring Gin from Compass for my
that's
birthday.
delicious.
I have yet to crack that bottle open because that's some serious time. I need to, that's not just a one drink evening.
Well, you need to evaluate the
I need,
distillate.
okay, well, there you go. So that might be open sometime soon, but I don't have any. Tanqueray would have been an older favorite, but I've tried many artisanal gins now that are, no, I wouldn't say more favorite, but you can
Yeah.
definitely taste the difference. Yeah.
Totally. Some are softer, some
Yeah.
are a little bit sharper.
I'm a bold flavor person, so I like the pack with a punch. Yes, Mr.
So we
Adam.
did a question about the pasta. Can you get similar results by rolling by hand, or do you have to use
No.
a mixer attachment?
Well, you could, but it would take you like 3 hours to roll it by hand to this level. And who wants to
still
put
have
that
some.
kind of investment in? I would really recommend this, or there's another, actually we had it earlier, I'll show you. You can buy these fairly inexpensively. They're like a little hand roller, crank roller that attaches to your counter. Our counters are too thick, so it didn't actually attach. But again, same thing. You just turn the wheel. You can pick these up in used places for like a couple of bucks. But I mean, you could probably get one on Amazon for like $20 and do all the exact same things that you do with this. I think this attachment is a couple $100 on the KitchenAid. But see, that's all you need. Look at us being all fancy with our pasta.
Just don't ever try to fix it with a butter knife or something, right?
No, don't.
I remember working, Jeff and I met working at the Bicycle Thief, and so we worked with Chef Maurizio,
Oh yes.
who was very particular about his pasta.
Very particular.
And very incredible
And-
pasta.
Incredible, yes.
And I remember one of his sous chefs was had a clogged, what is that apparatus called?
Pasta
pasta
crank or a pasta
crank, yeah.
maker or pasta
It was
machine.
jammed, and he took a knife to it to try to fix it, and I don't think he worked ever again at the Bicycle Thief.
Probably makes sense.
You can fill in the rest.
All right, so we are going to do a cocktail. You've paired a cocktail, which I don't know about
Yes.
yet, with the pasta. So
Yeah.
I'm going to move this out. So let's move a little bit over to cocktail while I get this organized so we can get our pan sauce going,
Yep.
Excellent.
and we can have a great pairing.
So we wanted to pair a cocktail that kind of, highlighted the flavors in the pasta. So we're going to use a basil smash with
Ooh, I
a
love
gin
it.
that has been infused with celeriac root. So
That is my favorite root vegetable.
Is it actually?
I make
Me
a
too.
puree out
Me
of it.
too.
So I take it and I peel it, and then I simmer it or boil it till it's soft, and then I puree it with butter and salt and pepper. That's all you need.
Really?
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful underneath fish. It's beautiful underneath the contrast between like a really beautiful steak or a fatty steak is beautiful. But the other thing about it is it's really low carb. So for people that are following those
On
new
trend.
Yeah.
diets on trend, or people that are diabetic, it's a great alternative to a starch.
So the difference in the
gosh.
flavors between celery root and celery, so the root lend itself really well to the Bombay.
It's earthy. It's gonna work really well with this dish.
That is super cool.
And we used actually a kitchen technique to infuse this. So we used a sous vide.
We use that here every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Anova, and we chopped up the celery root, washed it obviously, chopped it up, and then sous vide for like 3 hours, and then
Okay.
left it in the fridge overnight. Strained it out, and then now you have this like really nice color. Strained it out with just a fine strainer. You could use some cheesecloth if you wanted to get every little bit of the root out. But change the color of the gin. Usually this gin is clear, but you can see, right, if you bring it up to the light,
It's a beautiful color.
that it lends itself well. And gin is pretty versatile when it comes to any kind of like mint or any kind of herb, any kind of root. So yeah. What else goes in the
Yeah,
the
what else
smash,
goes
Jeff?
in the
So we're gonna
fancy
put some
cocktail?
fresh basil in first.
Lovely.
So I'm gonna make 2 cocktails because we'll make 4 actually. Patty,
Oh, I'm
You
gonna
got
make
it.
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let you
I didn't have your little.
get yourself.
Oh, my shaker.
I found this in the back kitchen door bar.
Our
Supply
bar kits,
company?
which are embarrassing. You don't want to let the clever barkeep see your bar kits, which are totally
So we're gonna add our basil. We're gonna give it a good smack to kind of get those oils and aromas out, and then I'm gonna muddle that with, or I just put some simple syrup in there,
You
and
must have a lot of fun just playing with flavors, like
Yeah.
getting together and saying we're gonna have a creative night and come
yeah,
up.
working.
Yeah, working.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Jeff's daughter's always saying, "Where's Daddy?" She says, "At work with Matt." Creative process, though, as you know, as a business owner, is sometimes like
Oh,
hard to get into the creative mode. So we've actually started to dedicate days where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
we're not
you have
doing the
to.
computer stuff. We're gonna sit down and work on recipe creation, because, I mean, it's really, you try to wear so many hats. I'm sure when you started out, you were doing
it was
everything,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So we're making sure that we make time for that, especially before bed.
It's
or
key.
something.
So
Yeah.
Patty, I'm gonna give your mint or your basil a little smack, and we're just
It
gonna
is
add some simple syrup. And I'll give you this, and you can kind of muddle it.
I'm just
into
gonna muddle it up.
Yeah, so we're just doing this on the fly, and since
This is very nice.
basil is such like a delicate herb, it's easier and it infuses into a normal simple syrup like really quickly. So to follow that up, we're gonna do some fresh lemon, because fresh is always best for
It is.
cocktails, and we're gonna save these zest because we'll use that for garnish. So I just use a
Little
vegetable
wine
peeler to get all the zest off.
For all of you that partied a lot in the 90s, bar mix is not okay. Lemon lime mix
Oh my
is not
gosh.
okay. Powdered,
powdered
citrus
lemon lime
is
mix.
not okay. Everything's got to be fresh to make a great
I
cocktail.
still can visualize my JJ's throat from all that powdered.
It's got to be fresh. This is honestly the biggest, aside from ice, biggest part of making a great cocktail is the freshness of the
It's the
ingredients.
ingredients. It really does come down to that.
Yeah.
Cooking, cocktail making, it's all, yeah.
100%. And so it's a pretty easy ratios when you're using fresh juice. So 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup and 3/4 of an ounce of
So 1 to 1.
fresh lemon juice. 1 to 1.
Yeah.
This is a very old school press. I love
Yeah,
it.
my parents found that for me. And I've been
Wow. It
using
reminds
for-
me of like the big food processors.
Yeah, it's,
to have the-
it's the best. So we've got our sweet and sour in here, and then next we're gonna add our gin.
You don't have to have celery root gin. You could just use regular gin. This is just going to add another layer of complexity to the cocktail. It'll mesh well, obviously, with basil as well. And this smells incredible.
Yes.
Garlic and cream and salt and pepper. You can't go wrong.
So Patty, right to the top there.
Right to the top.
Yeah, which is 2 ounces.
Usually when people are competing,
Not the
they'll-
line?
They'll get a little shake. No shakes.
That's an ounce and a half.
Oh, I don't have any
Wow.
shake. No, never.
That is a very good pour. Right to the top of the meniscus.
If you ever need
Yeah.
No, that would be a bad thing.
We're hiring.
And then our last ingredient is a little bit of spice, so some jalapeno infused green chartreuse, which is like a very herbal flavor. And
So do these keep well?
those keep well, yeah.
They keep well.
Yeah.
And they're refrigerated or they're not?
Those aren't refrigerated.
Okay.
The alcohol content is high enough that like it's gonna stop from any like mold or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
The only thing that would happen over time would be the intensity of the
Salt.
flavor. Whatever you've infused in there
Do
would
you always put salt in your cocktails?
would kind of like disappear. Yeah,
Because salt is key to everything.
everything
Yeah.
brings out flavor.
Even baking. Like I always say to people, oh, that falls flat. You need, like, if you're making an apple crisp, add a little bit of salt into it. Like, it just changes. It
My
changes.
world's been changed now, learning about the different salts and the layers
Mm-hmm.
of salt, and pink Himalayan versus
Yeah.
miso versus soy-based salts, and sea
And even there's
salts
so
and-
much local salt now. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many artisanal salt companies that are doing.
Annapolis sea
Yeah.
salt from Mr. Hopgood.
Yeah, and
Incredible.
there was another one that I just Tidal Salt. Tidal Salt.
Haven't had it.
They're new. I think they're a new Taste of Nova Scotia member. I think.
And
that's
putting
like,
it in at different parts, right? Is that
Yes,
right when you're
it's
cooking?
yes,
Different
layering.
times?
Well, it's like cooking, right? When you make something, when you make a risotto, you season at the beginning. You season every single time you add stock. It's the
I did not
layering
know
of
that.
flavor. It's the same thing when you make a soup. Every time you add a new ingredient, you have to adjust the seasoning.
Okay, Kate, this doesn't mean that I'm going to be cooking every single night.
Cool.
All right, so we've
Awesome.
got 2 cocktails in each, so we need more.
I'm
we need lots of
excited about
drinks.
this.
Next, we need our glassware. So we've got our glasses,
very fancy
a little bit of
glassware over
ice
here.
in there, so that our cocktail can, continue to stay cold because we're obviously serving straight up into our coops.
Temperature is such an important thing with cooking, but also cocktails. You want a drink to be, if it's supposed to be cold, you want it to be ice cold. Like the difference between a great martini and a superb one is the temperature.
Is the temperature.
Yeah, you want it to be so cold. So as you can see, Jeff's got some cold draft ice, which is really dense.
Yeah, and kind of fascinating that there's so many different artisanal ices and different quantities or qualities to the ice.
Yeah, we'll
That
talk a
impact.
little bit about
Yeah.
ice in our next cocktail. We have in some more special stuff.
We brought 2 different types of ice. Which is,
Fancy.
that's
We're
like
fancy here on Kitchen
that's
Door.
hardcore mixology.
Hardcore.
But the ice is important because the quality and the texture of the ice. Like this ice is quite large and it's not going to break when you shake it. We want to infuse a lot of air in this cocktail so it's nice and fluffy, so it's not just like sour. And we'll do that.
Keep going.
Patty will
I'm
demonstrate
doing
how
customers.
we'll
gonna
do that.
shake
So
for you.
we're gonna
Shake for me.
pour everything in here, and then give it a good shake.
Make you wait 25 minutes for the shake.
With larger ice, you can shake a little bit longer, and it's not going to dilute as quick. But your goal here is chilling and diluting, but also getting some texture and air there.
You must get a good arm workout.
Yeah, I got tennis elbow from bartending, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Dad jokes, and I'm not even a dad.
And then we're going to use our Hawthorne strainer. Put that on. Put your gate down to strain out any small bits.
Look at that color.
Perfect. It almost matches the pasta now that I've added the pesto.
It's all part of the plan, Patty.
Oh, I know. The big plan.
See that alliteration as well? See that alliteration. Hear that.
Hear that alliteration. You're right.
What's our garnish, Jeffrey?
We've got some our lemon zests. So if we can, I'll bring this tray over here. Show you. We'll make this nice and fancy.
Awesome.
We take our zests off, and then we cut these. They don't have any edges on there. And then
Thank you.
take the zest, squeeze the oils over top of the drink, so that when you bring the cocktail to your mouth, you can smell the fresh lemon zest.
That's very fancy.
It's just care. Attention
Oh.
to detail.
Attention to detail.
That's one thing that goes overlooked with a lot of bar service is the attention to the small details where, this drink is just a part of hospitality, just as, the food is when you deliver it to your guests.
You find
your kitchen
sometimes
door.
like bar service is all about volume. Like what can you pump out?
Yeah, and
Right?
you know
Like
what?
yeah.
You got to be careful too with that and make sure you're taking care. One part of our job is being responsible for our guests, right? So if we're going to give someone a really high octane cocktail like this basil smash, this has nearly 2 ounces of gin in it, and you're going to drink it like it's water because it's balanced and delicious. So alcohol takes sometimes an hour to hit you. If you have 3 of those in an hour, then your
You're in
bartender should know.
Very true.
Yeah. Those look great, Jeff.
They do.
And
They
this-
look excellent.
I'm just
I'm very
salivating
excited.
over here.
All right. All right.
So while you're whipping that up, maybe I'll do the aperitivo, or not the aperitivo, the digestif cocktail as well, to just have them side by side by each.
Sure.
So this is one style of cocktail that we made is a shaken cocktail, like the daiquiri, like the sour, margarita, some drinks that people are familiar with. You always want to shake when you have citrus. Then when you have all alcoholic ingredients, you have like an old fashioned or a Manhattan, then you would like to stir. So this is our big stirring vessel. Although you can just do everything in a rocks glass too if you want. So I'm going to grab a couple rocks glasses, chill those down.
Wow. That
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
Wow, Patty.
I know. So
Just
impressive.
bam. So easy. Lucky man. All right.
I'm excited. I know.
Do the slow mo.
I know. I got distracted. I overcooked the pasta slightly, but the sauce makes up for it. I got distracted in artisanal ice. I was like, there's
Yeah.
so much to learn
We're
here.
going to talk about that.
I know.
You can do that at home. Artisanal ice is beautiful, and it's really not that difficult. Oh yeah, 2 in each one. So this is a homemade vermouth. Jeff, you want to talk about that?
Homemade vermouth.
Jeff made a cranberry vermouth. It's just delicious.
Yeah, so we try to really, same with the citrus, get as much as we can out of our ingredients, and vermouth, being a wine-based product, originated by people infusing different herbs and barks into their old wine to keep it fresh longer and to also deliver the the medical benefits of said herb or root. So I had some wine that was, getting on its kind of last leg. So I infused it with some local cranberries, some stuff from my garden, some fresh herbs, lemon balm, and also some gentian root to give it a little bit of bitterness.
Ooh, wow.
So this is kind of just, we'll use this in place of a normal vermouth, but vermouth's a really important ingredient, and we're getting, there used to just be one type of.
That would be a good bitter right there.
Patty move. I love it.
So that's a bitters that has no dash or top to it. So this is going to be really
I
bitter.
love it. I overcooked the pasta and he left the top off. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, this one has a top. Make sure you
You're
check your top of
hilarious.
your bitters. This is good.
Purpose. You want to
It shows
Yeah.
that we're all real here.
We'll make sure. So this is usually you'll make like most people know or recognize like whiskey for the old fashioned, but we're going to use a really nice 8-year rum from Bacardi, 8 to 12 years aged. This is a cocktail that I made with Bacardi. When I got to travel to Berlin for it. It's called a Watchman, and it just has 4 ingredients. So it has some artichoke liqueur. It has this infused vermouth or Martini Bianco if you don't have any of this infused vermouth with gentian root, and the 8-year Bacardi. A little bit of Compass grapefruit bitters. Well, you talk about the Compass gin.
Yes.
We're using their bitters as well. And then we've got everything in the mixing glass. We add ice, we stir, add dilution, and we don't have to add aeration because we don't have citrus. So just gonna add some ice and we'll be on our way.
We have food, we have many drinks. This is getting exciting. I'm excited. So is Elena, off camera, very excited. So, obviously, you're very skilled at the cocktail. So talk about what you guys do, like what your services are, how the everyday person who's out there on Facebook watching right now could use your services. Like what are some of the events that you would
Yeah, well, we do basically all ranges. So we can come into your home and do a little cocktail seminar with you and your friends, teach you how to, taste rum, teach you how to taste whiskey. We could do your wedding. We could do corporate events, parties.
Wedding, very cool.
Yeah.
We've had them.
We do any events, small or large. Like honestly, we've had events as small as 4 people, and then we've had ones that have had 400. So we do have some hired guns and apprentices that work with us. So we do. It's not just Jeff and I for the events, and
Is that how you taste?
it's perfect. Yeah, because you don't want to put the spoon back in after you touch.
No, I'm
just
with
drop
you.
a little bit there.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
This is for after dinner. But yeah, you can find us on cleverbarkeep.com.
Delish!
Instagram, Clever Barkeep. Check us out. We basically just sit down with you and we create your cocktail experience. So how you'd like your bar to look. It doesn't have to be cocktails, although we recommend it. We do beer, wine as well, and just art.
But cocktails are your thing.
That's it.
That's what you're.
On the
that's
old
what- yeah.
clear ice.
Look at that! Look at that! That almost looks like maple syrup pouring. Like it's that luscious.
Well, so that's the difference between the stirring and the shaking.
Is it? Okay.
You're not
crazy.
agitating like this, so you keep the texture of the spirit. So very similar to how you keep gin in your freezer and you pull it out and it's like pouring
it's so
honey.
good.
You want to have that sort of like same texture, but super cold, so you don't have any aeration that you would find in a cocktail. like
cocktail.
this. Yeah, in a shaking cocktail.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then so
Oh.
the
It's a good chit chat talk.
the benefit of the clear ice is it's the densest quality of ice. It's gonna melt a lot slower, so you'll have a cold drink that in 10 minutes will still taste the same as it did when you first got it, and it's not going to be diluted down and
Diluted,
watery
yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff like that. So for drinks that are a little bit more on the boozier side of things, it's always nice to have a big piece of ice there. Well, here you go, Patty.
Oh my
Just a
goodness.
little.
Oh my goodness.
We don't want
Okay, so remind me,
Don't wanna
this is
keep
the
you waiting.
celeriac and the basil.
and the basil, yes, and a little bit of the jalapeno infused green chartreuse.
They're coming to all my summer
We'll
parties.
make the slow motion that replay.
That is absolutely divine. It is so good. It is so good.
Oh yeah.
You're like, show's over
Cheers.
now.
Cheers. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh, thank you for coming. That is epic. And we need forks for the pasta. Can we have forks for the
Oh my
pasta?
goodness.
Yes. Save one for a picture too.
That's
It almost
great.
tastes like there's pepper in it.
Oh, with the
Pepper
hell, you get
would
that
be
little.
good in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
It's gonna,
All right, I
it's
love
gonna
that.
be great with that pasta.
You may have a bitter stain on the Chit
That's all right, we
Chat
don't
Chop
care.
table
We don't
forever.
We're good. Now this has been sitting for a bit.
Here's a
but-
question as you guys are talking. So,
Yeah.
so what did you find was missing in the market that there was a need for Clever?
Yeah.
Jeff and I had worked together a long time, and we were just attending an event one time, and we said, drinks here aren't great.
Yeah.
Maybe we could bring bars to people, and
And
Yeah.
we're in a very lucky position. Like in Halifax right now, we're going through a huge explosion with both food and drink. So, the quality of what most consumers are now getting in restaurants is not like
So good.
isn't really comparable to what people are getting in events. So we thought we would try to lend our skill set to that and try to elevate that side of the industry too. So.
At what time of the day was this decision made? Like 3:30 in the morning after like.
you know what? This was actually an escape for us from 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That was a big part of why we transitioned into it. We worked in bars for a really long time, and it's really no joke. Same with in the kitchen. It's tough on the body. It's tough on the mind, and we just wanted to kind of create a life where we were not working till 3:30. So a lot of times, I mean, there are still events we are, but
Oh, you're still gonna have that, and we have
Yeah.
that too. But catering's
it's
a
less.
different
It's
mindset.
not 6 nights a week now
No.
that we're up till 3:30.
You should start work like 8-10 hours earlier than you normally do.
And when you
Which
start
is
to have
great.
family and
Yeah.
kids and other things, that's one of the things about the hospitality industry and the bar business and the restaurant business is that once all those other elements of normalcy come into your life, because when you're in it, when you're young, it's not normal,
Yeah.
right? You realize very quickly that you can't manage this. That there's no way that
Forever.
you can't do this.
No.
And so, I mean, that's one of the reasons I chose to sort of say, okay, restaurant chef and hotel, that's not my end game. My end game is work-life balance and how can I still be in this industry. And, I did my 10, 12, 13, 14 years in the kitchens, and now I get to have a great crew that's in the kitchen, and I get to kind of still be in the business, but
Still be creative.
still be creative, and you still have all the insight, but you don't have to physically work the way that you did when you were 20, because that's taxing, right?
And
You're
the
only doing it for
things-
so long.
The things that you learn as an entrepreneur are super fun too. Like, I don't think he and I would have ever expected in the bar industry to learn some of the things that we've had to. Like,
It's delicious.
eating what you kill, selling yourself to people. Like, it's really a whole different art, and it's been really beneficial for us as people.
Yeah,
Totally.
super cool.
Growth in the industry. It's hard to just. I mean, we're all not ones to just stand still and kind of do our job day in day out. So
No.
it's great.
And there's a lot of stuff happening here, even though we are Nova Scotia, and even though we are, we're east of Toronto, the happening city. There's still a lot happening here, and there's a lot of growth, and there's a lot of exciting things that are on the up and up coming.
Yeah. I was talking to Garth Brown tonight about it's like a melting pot right now. We're right on
Yeah.
the cusp of something large in Halifax with all the great places to eat and
Yeah.
great places to grab a drink, and cocktail culture for sure is punching above its
Oh.
weight, and we're excited about the next decade.
We have the best of both worlds. We've got the kindest people, and then also creative, talented chefs and all industry folks, from the servers right up to.
What do you call yourself? Not cocktail maker. What do you call yourselves?
Bartenders.
Mixologists? Bartenders? Okay.
The
I-
difference.
We
They're a
prefer
bartender.
bartenders because that's like bartenders tending the bar. You're taking care of your guests, whereas a mixologist would be, just someone that their sole attention is on the cocktail. But a mixologist is like a catchword. Like,
Chef versus
you know.
cook. It's the same thing. Are you a cook or are you a chef?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Cool.
It's funny you say that. There is a difference between what you guys do and some other people that they really do seem purely focused on the drink and kind of forget that there's some people on the wood that you got to pay attention to and engage with and all that stuff, right?
Well, when we were getting into this stuff, it was like, that's where the attention was. And like, you could tell that people were like, okay, cool, dude. Like, yeah, I get it. You're making your own ice. Like, wow.
Whoa, right?
It's just frozen water, man.
Yeah. And you'll find 1 in 40 people that want to talk about the ice, and that's cool. But most of the time, you know, how is your day? How are you feeling today?
And
How can I
also,
make
when you
your day
get
better?
this kind of exceptional cocktail, which you don't get without, you know, this skill set and this innovation, like the creative aspect of it, right? Like it really is. You're a cook, you're a chef. You're just doing it with beverages.
You can even spill the bitters, and it tastes great.
Yeah. Overcook the pasta, and it's still
This
okay.
is fantastic. You're selling yourself
it's,
short.
well, I was
man.
like, oh my gosh, I have fresh pasta in there. It's not 9 minutes. It's like 4 minutes.
Oh, that's a big difference, eh?
Oh, huge. Yeah, if you use dried pasta, you're 9 to 12 minutes, depending on the cut and size. This stuff, like 3 minutes, you're done. So I was like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I'll be right back.
It's
anyway.
delicious. You guys are really missing out right here.
Yeah. So on this too. Cool. All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to highlight? Like anything awesome coming up that you're working on? I mean, obviously you've got lots of Christmas parties. And
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of events, but half of our
Oh my
business as
gosh.
well is consulting. So we've been working on a few projects that are coming up that we're really excited about. Big projects that are letting us learn again on how to walk the walk and help other people open restaurants, which has been cool. So if you're opening a restaurant or a bar and you need some help, we're ready. So that's
Call
the
them the
that's
Clever Barkeep.
That is the cool
They're
part.
awesome. We're doing lots of collaboration in 2019 and beyond because we see the value and the skill set in this. And we are great at this. And we're okay at this, but they are way better at this than we are. So, yeah, if you would like to do a partner event, we'd be happy to do that. Yeah, lots of exciting things. It is. It's awesome. It's pretty cool.
And we appreciate it, and we get asked all the time if people see catering and they think you do food, and we're like, no,
No.
do not.
You don't want us to do
We make jalapeno whatever. Right? We don't do it.
The salt
Pigs
top
in a
will come
blanket.
off when I put the salt on.
No, it's awesome. It's very, very cool. And I have to say, it's refreshing because when I started in catering, there was nobody doing what you're doing. And I had seen in other markets like little glimpses of what you were doing. And I thought, somebody's got to come to this market and do it. And so it's really awesome that you guys
Thank you.
have been successful. And obviously you're still new, but you're growing. And you like the passion and the care is obviously there.
Well, we have to thank you for being so hospitable from our first event to now, and just always because you know the catering world is a eat what you kill business,
It
and
is.
you've been very generous with the trade secrets and
We're-
everything.
Well,
I really
I'm happy.
appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Anybody that wants to try to make it, because food and beverage business is not easy. And people think that you're rolling in the dough, and you're like, do you know what the margins are in food and beverage? Do you know what they are? Like, seriously, just Google it. Anybody can Google it. And, the reality is, we are in this because we are passionate and we have a love for it. And it's definitely not for rolling in the dough.
Right.
Right?
You can't put a price on your Friday night.
No, you can't. Cool. Well, thank you for joining. Next week, it's secret. We have a couple of things happening, but we're not letting the cat out of the bag yet. So,
That we have Ellie Black.
and then yes, December 4th or 5th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ellie Black is here.
And then we can also announce the next person after that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Christina Martin.
Christina Martin's coming on. She's gonna play.
brilliant.
She's awesome. She's so fun. I love emailing her. Like, she's just energy. You can just feel it, the energy in the emails. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. I've seen Christina Martin a couple of times live, and I'm very excited to have her on the show. And then we're really kind of like into Christmas mode. I think that's the end of
I think
before
there's
the
gonna be
holidays.
one more after that, I think. But you tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Adam's like, are we
boss.
doing a Christmas special or not?
This is special.
And
Some sort.
then we kind of we're in move mode at that point. We're moving to our new home in Dartmouth.
Congratulations.
And,
Awesome.
You're coming to the right side of the bridge.
Oh yeah, you and my husband say that.
We'll be hanging out a lot more over
Yeah,
there.
a lot more over there. But anyway, thanks for joining. It was awesome to have Clever Barkeep here tonight. Delicious cocktails. I'm so excited, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Check them
Thank you.
out.
Thank you.
All your events, all your mixology, all your bartending needs.
Mixology's fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. He's changed his mind now. See you next week. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it.